All right, this is one of those Abbott and Costello moments where Iran always argued, we don't have any nuclear production going on, but they're already promising to ramp it up now that we've ripped up the deal. And you do that thing with, but you said you didn't have nuclear. I know. I'm done. All right, we've got the House Armed Services Committee member, Ohio Republican Congressman Mike Turner here in the flesh. Usually we're talking remotely. Good to have you, sir.
Thank you.
So they're bragging about it. We're going to exceed these limits, break this deal. That's all but a given now. What do you think?
Well, I just recently met with the lead inspector with the International Atomic Energy Agency that's over the deal with Iran. And Iran has been doing a number of things that are approaching or preparing for breaking the deal, all with in direct observation of the IAEA. So it's somewhat been anticipated that they were going to be going down this path. But as you know, the deal itself had three major flaws. It was limited in its time period, meaning that there were things that they're going to be able to do anyway in 10 years when the deal had been constructed. It did not include missiles. It did not include malign activities that the administration has been concerned about. And it also had a very limited inspection regime. That's why the administration, through a maximum pressure campaign, has been trying to bring Iran back to the table to renegotiate this deal. Clearly, as Iran continues to escalate its activities in the area, it's bringing it closer to everyone realizing the deal is probably not going to be renegotiated, and conflict with Iran is
well, if they ramp it up, are you concerned that, wait a minute, faulty or problematic as the deal was, at least something, Swiss cheese, something to hold it together? Now there's no Swiss cheese, nothing.
Well, Iran claimed that they were going to comply with the deal as long as the Europeans complied with the deal. So they're going to have some explaining to do as to why they would be now breaking a deal that they have committed themselves to. But the deal itself is flawed. They would have had a path that would have we would have been facing a nuclear Iran. So it's very timely that we bring this forward, and with Pompeo and the administration's maximum pressure campaign, I do think that there's opportunities for allies in the United States and Iran to come to the table. It may be noisy for a while, but I think if our allies come to the table with us, Iran should be able to come to the table.
But by the way, on that front, Congress, just to be clear, you don't doubt the evidence out there that Iran was and is behind these tanker attacks and other things. I mean, some of our allies apparently want more proof. What is it?
I don't. I think that one of the questions you have to ask yourself is who else in the area would have been doing it, and who else in the area has the means.
The cynical view is that someone could set it up to make it look like them.
These are fairly sophisticated attacks. These are not rogue type activities.
Why would they do that? Why would they risk our wrath?
Well, they were already doing very covert malign activities in the area. This is the first time that they're sort of surfacing as being evidenced as doing these activities, a clear dotted line. I think it's clearly to show the international community that they do intend to, through aggression and through attacks in the area, call attention to the international community, their displeasure that their economy is tanking. It's not growing as a result of U.S. sanctions. They're having great difficulty in convincing anybody to invest in Iran. It doesn't. They're not a very good business partner.
They've been cozying up to China, cozying up to Russia. I know Mike Pompeo, our Secretary of State, is saying the administration is considering a full range of options on Iran. Do you know whether an outright attack is among them?
Well, I think the Secretary has rightly said that military options will be preserved, but at the same time,
but not military options alone. The U.S. acting
and if you only look at the issues of if Iran should attack our allies or attack the United States. We just recently in the Armed Services Committee had a debate. The Democrats brought forward an amendment that would have prohibited any military action or response to Iran. This wouldn't even allow us to protect Israel or to protect our NATO allies. So I think
Who pulled that?
Ro Khanna from California.
I know that, but then it was someone must have gotten it.
Right. The chairman of the Armed Services Committee, once we began having the debate and he saw the difficulties that this amendment would have prohibited options for the United States, took it off the table. We're going to have that debate again as that bill comes to the House floor. But I think Pompeo is through his maximum pressure campaign is using all options of sanctions, working with allies, working with our international partners to place pressure on Iran, and that certainly is the way to go.
But sanctions are the way to go right now.
At this point, the sanctions are increasing, they're tightening, and that I think certainly will hopefully bring Iran back to the table.
We shall see. Congressman, good seeing you in the flesh. Be well.
Thank you. Great seeing you.
Busy guy.